Greetings for the day. This is Chetan Kumar from Ethnus Consultancy Services Private Limited, Bangalore, and I welcome all of you to this guidance program from Ethnus on TCS NQT 2021. And I firmly believe that you people are preparing well for the upcoming TCS NQT, which is scheduled on 18th and 19th of this month. Before we get started, I would need all of you to acknowledge one more time for the audibility, because we had certain problem in the beginning. So if you're able to hear me properly, quickly tell me a voice clear in the chat section. VC, you could type a VC in the chat section so that it's an acknowledgement for me that I'm audible perfectly now. Right, thank you so much for confirming. I hope it's clear for you, and I have already projected my screen too, and you should be able to view my screen as well. Now without further delay, we can quickly get started with the session. So we Ethnus are helping students to realize their dreams for the past 14 years, and we have been helping them to get their first ever job, right? And this is something about your trainer. My name is Chetan Kumar, and I have 5+ years of experience in training and development, and I've trained more than 20,000 students across the country in leading universities like IIT, NIT and VIT. And if you have not joined our Telegram channel yet, so this is the right time for you to join our channel, and link for joining this channel will be available in the description as well as in the chat section. Click the link and join our Telegram channel, and here is where we will be posting your assessment tests, and also you will get a frequent mock tests on TCS NQT and related to all other mass recruiter companies. So if you have not joined our Telegram channel yet, this is the right time, and the link is available in the chat section. And also one more thing you need to note over here is, if you are not so proficient when it comes to technical round of interview, you need certain sort of assistance, right? And that's the reason why we are coming up with a technical webinar tomorrow at the same time. And if you feel that you are not so proficient in technical topics, you should never miss to attend this session. So without further delay, we will quickly get into the review session on the mock test that you had previously. And the first question that I'm taking from those set of questions is this one. Probably you must have answered this question correctly during the test also, and now this is the time for you to solve, and your time begins now. Let me closely look at the chat section, that who is the first one to answer this question. Your timer is running. Read the question carefully and then tell me the answer. What is the sum of the digits of the least multiple of 13, which when divided by 6, 8 and 12 leaves 5, 7 and 11 respectively as remainder? It's a very beautiful question, and it's an application question on the LCM and HCF concept together. So nobody has answered this question yet, and your timer is okay, your time is elapsed. Now let me just get into the solution part. Here you can see you're asked to find out the least multiple of 13, which when divided by 6, 8 and 12 leaves a remainder of 5, 7 and 11. Now what you need to observe closely here is, it is divided by 6 and then producing a remainder of 5. Same time it is getting divided by 8 and it is going to produce a remainder of 7. It is going to be divided by 12 and it's going to produce a remainder of 11. And in each case, if you observe 6, 8 and 12, upon getting divided by these numbers, they are going to produce the remainder as 5, 7 and 11, and in each case you can see -1 logic. So this directly means that you can directly take the LCM of these values, okay, LCM of 6, 8 and 12, and then this will be the number which is divisible by 13 and then gives you a remainder of 5, 7 and 11 in each case. So that means this LCM, after you take this LCM, then you should subtract -1 from it, then you will get the answer. So that means 6, 8 and 12. What is the LCM of 6, 8 and 12? How will you find out the LCM of 6, 8 and 12? Look at the maximum number and then go with the multiples of that maximum number until the number is divided completely by 6, 8 and 12. You can see here 12 is not divisible by 8. In that case you have to go by the next multiple of 12, which is 24. So 24 is the number. So 24 is divisible by 6, it's divisible by 8 and it's divisible by 12 also. But now you need to understand -1 logic should be applied here, right? So this number should be multiplied by some number, okay, because then only it will produce a number, right? And then -1. So this is the number you're checking for. This is what the number you're checking for, because the number has to be a multiple of 24 for sure, because it should be divisible by 6, 8 and 12 also, right? And then certain multiples of this 24, then you have to do -1, and that itself is the answer. And now in order to get the answer, you have to hit trial and error here. Go on applying the values of k as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and at one stage you will get the number which is divisible by 13, because you need a multiple of 13, right? And that's what you need. So if you take 24 into 1, value of k is 1, you will get 23, but 23 is not divisible by 13. Go for the next multiple of 24, which is 48. 48 minus 1 will give you 47. That is also not divisible. Third multiple of 24 is 72, minus 1 is 71, not divisible by 13. Next is 96. Minus 1 will give you 95, that is also not divisible by 13. And the next multiple is 120, minus 1 will give you 119, this is also not divisible by 13. So directly the next one will be 144, right? 144 minus 1 will give you 143, right? And this 143, check whether it is divisible by 13. Of course it's divisible, right? So the answer will directly be 143, the least multiple of 13, okay, which when divided by 6, 8 and 12 will give you the remainder as 5, 7 and 11. So the number itself is 143. But what they have been asking you, they're asking you the sum of the digits, right? So sum of the digit will be 1 plus 4 plus 3, which is directly a 8. Option D is the right answer. So let me quickly check how many of you have answered this question. Okay, right. So only Ashriya has answered this question. Only Ashriya has answered this question. But that's a different answer that you gave. And if you have understood the explanation that I provided, quickly type a clear in the chat section. Meanwhile, I'll directly move on to the next question. So what did I do initially? Let me just quickly conclude everything. First of all, you got to know that number should be divisible by 6, 8 and 12, and if any number is said to be divisible by 6, 8 and 12, it should definitely be divisible by 24. So that means I'm taking the LCM of 6, 8 and 12. So I got to know that it's 24. And now which multiple of losing 1 will be divisible by 13. That is what you need to find out. So 24's multiple is what you need to check for, and in which case minus 1, if you subtract minus 1, you will get a number which is divisible by 13, and you got that number as 143 by trial and error method, and sum of these numbers will be 8, right? And that's what I said. So if you have understood this problem, quickly type a clear in the chat section, and I will move on to the next question. And the next question is coming up for you over here, and be the quickest to answer this question also. Right, thank you so much for confirming. Now the next question is available for you, and I need answer instantly before 1 minute of time is over. Right. A milkman claims to sell milk at its cost price only, but he is making a profit of 20% since he has mixed some amount of water in the milk. Now the question is, what is the percentage of milk in the mixture? And you have 4 answer choices: 80%, 250 by 3%, 75%, and then 200 by 3%. So be the quickest to answer this question, and let me just closely look at the chat section also. Okay, Lakshman Yadav says that I need to speak in Hindi, but anyway, I have no problem in speaking in Hindi, but Lakshman, problem is that if we have people from places where they don't understand Hindi, then it would be a problem, right? So I just thought of speaking in a common language which most of the people would understand, right? So yeah, people who have answered so far, almost everyone have said that it is 80%. Okay, so now the mistake that you are doing is, out of 100%, okay, out of 100, if 20% profit, right? So you're thinking like 80 is let's say milk, 80 is milk, and then 20 is water, because profit will always be received with respect to the water that you add additionally, right? And most of the people think if water is 20%, then percentage of milk in the mixture will definitely be 80, but that's the wrong strategy you're using. Okay, so I'm telling you one more time, I understand profit will always be received with respect to the additional amount of water that you add. So 20% is profit, means yeah, you're thinking like it's 20% water, and remaining will be 80% only, right? And that's why you said 80% as the answer. But understanding is this one. See, in profit and loss there is a formula. Okay, if you remember, the formula is percentage profit is equal to profit taken in the numerator divided by cost price into 100. This is the formula, right? And now 20% is the profit. So now if you just look at this 20%, how can you write 20% in terms of a fraction? You would write like this, right? 20% means it's 20 divided by 100, or else you would get it as 1 by 5. So now this means, or this is found in this ratio, right? This is found in the same ratio, that is profit divided by cost price. So I can write it over here. Profit divided by cost price is 1 by 5, because it's the profit percentage, right? And profit percentage can be always written as profit divided by cost price. So if I write 1 by 5, it is found in this ratio, where I'm getting that 1 unit is my profit and 5 is my cost price. And always whenever it is a milk and water ratio, understand if it is a profit percentage, whatever is there in the numerator, that will always be the water contribution, because profit will always be received for the additional amount of water that you add, and whatever is there in the denominator, that is the milk quantity, because his investment will be purely on the milk. he needs to feed the cow and he needs to take care of the cow, everything, and that is his investment. So definitely whatever milk he gets, that is his investment. So this will be milk in the denominator. So now 1 by 5 is the quantity, right? So water is 1 and milk is 5. So total, what is the mixture, by the way? You tell me. What is the mixture overall? It is total of 6 units. Total of 6 units now. And out of this 6 unit, 1 unit is water and 5 unit is milk. Total 6 units of liquid is there. And now tell me, out of this 6 unit, how many units of milk is there? Milk percentage is 5 by 6. It's 5 by 6, right? So into 100. Don't forget this one. So if you simplify this, what would you get? You can get it something like 250 times is 100 and 3 times is this value, right? And then you can further simplify this as 3 ones are 3, 16.66 times, and 16.66 can be directly taken as 83.333, something like this. Or you need your answer in terms of fraction, right? You can directly simplify here. You got 250 times and 3 times, right? So 50 into 5 is 250 divided by 3. This is the percentage. 250 divided by 3 percentage is the milk in the mixture. So if you have understood this problem, please quickly type a clear, and I will move on to the next question directly. So I hope this explanation is clear. And next question is something from reasoning aptitude, and let me check how good you are at reasoning topic. Very good. Sheila is the one who actually answered the question correctly, and Sriram says that I need to repeat that 5 by 6 part. Okay, see, 5 by 6 part is very simple. Just observe here. The logic that you need to apply is 20% profit, right? So convert this directly into a fraction. So you will get 20 divided by 100. This is how you convert a percentage into a fraction. So if you simplify this, you will get 1 by 5. And now this 1 by 5 is the profit, right? And what is the profit percentage formula? Profit percentage formula is profit divided by cost price into 100. So this one directly looks like this, right? Profit divided by cost price. So profit will always be the amount of water that you add. For that only you will get the profit, right? Cost price means your investment, that is milk. So that you get 1 by 5 as the ratio. And now if you observe, pure milk is 5 and water that you added is 1 unit. So total how many units of liquid is there? 5 unit of water, 1 unit of milk, right? So total 6 units of milk is there, or that means overall liquid. And out of that, what is the percentage of only milk? Milk contribution is 5, right? So that's why I got 5 by 6 as the percentage. So percentage means it's into 100, right? So then I simplified it as 250 times is 100, 3 times is 6. So you will get 250 divided by 3 percentage as the answer. So I hope the explanation is clear, and if you did not understand, you can watch this once the live streaming is over repeatedly. How many ever times you want, you can watch it until you understand. But now I will give you the third question. Probably you must have answered this question already. You can type your answer as option A, option B, option C, or option D. So I think only Sachin Patel has answered this question so far. Okay, Rahul Yadav says option A. Very good, and your time is gonna end now. In a dinner party, both fish and meat were served. Some took only fish and some only meat. There were some vegetarians who did not accept either. That means they did not go for meat and also fish. The rest accepted both fish and meat. Now, which of the following logic diagrams correctly reflects the situation? So where you have to start your calculation from is meat and fish. There are some people who accepted both meat and fish, right? So how will I write people who are using both fish and meat? So there should be a region where people should eat both meat and fish. So let's say if this is for meat and this is for fish, and this set of people, okay, I will shade it something like this. This set of people are the people who went for only meat, and let's say I will change the color. This region of people are the people who opted only fish, and let's say the inside portion is there, right? I will say it as the green portion. The green portion is the portion for people who accepted both fish and meat. And now, where do you find this kind of a figure? Definitely you can eliminate answer choice D, because you don't have this representation at all, but you have it in option A, option B and option C also. And now, there were some vegetarians who did not accept both meat and fish, right? So that means, where should I write them? Definitely there should not be any relationship with meat, fish and these vegetarians. They should be written separately. So these are vegetarians. And now, in a party, some people eat only fish, some people eat only meat, and some people opted for both meat and fish, and there were also some vegetarians, and there is no other type of people in this case. They have not mentioned there are few people who did not eat anything. That case is not there. That means this entire case contributes to the number of people in the party. That's it, done. So if I just consider all of this, then definitely this will give you the total number of people in the party, right? So this would be the right Venn diagram. And where do you see this one? Definitely option C is eliminated, because you cannot have someone outside the Venn diagram. This is not possible. And if you look for B, then where is the vegetarian section? If you see the section, all of them in one or the other way they are intersected, but that is not possible with vegetarians because they need to be kept separate, right? So only one answer choice that is that is consisting of all these requirement is option A. So your answer should definitely be option A, and that's how smart you should be in this kind of calculation. I feel this problem is clear to you, and this is one of the reasoning topics I must tell you, right? So now this is a visual reasoning problem. Just look at the problem, analyze the format or the diagrams, and then answer the question given, which is find out from amongst the four alternatives as to how the pattern would appear when the transparent sheet is folded at the dotted line. That means this is the problem figure, okay? This is the problem figure, and if you just fold this problem figure about this axis, how would it look like if this sheet is transparent? That's the question. Observe closely and then tell me your answer as 1, 2, 3 or 4. Now you can just check whether you have done it correctly or not in the actual examination. Very good. Deepali says that it is 2. All right. And rest of the people are also encouraged to answer this question. Is it 1, 2, 3 or 4? Which one is the right one? Right, so only Deepali said it's option 2, but rest of the people have said that it's option 3, and one answer says that it is option 4 also. See, here you need to be extremely good at paying attention. Now if you just flip this particular figure about this axis, then definitely this line, whatever you see here, will be coinciding with this particular part, right? Definitely this line will not be changing its direction. This will definitely coincide with this portion, and that's the reason why option 1 will be eliminated, because you don't have that coinciding portion here, but they are looking distinct here, they are looking separate. And the same logic is applicable in 4 also, because they are not looking one on the other. Okay, definitely this is also incorrect, and option 2 is absolutely wrong, because here the line, here this line has actually been shifted upwards. How is it possible? If you just fold it about the axis, that's not possible. Horizontal line will never be shifted. If you just flip anything about the y-axis, it would definitely come in the same line. The horizontal line will definitely be in the same level. It will not go up, it will not come down. So option 2 is also eliminated. So only one answer choice is remaining, which is option 3. And that's how beautiful these kind of questions, if you are good at observation, right? Yes, I can understand many of you have said that it's option 3. So congratulations. So you have done this particular problem correctly in the previous mock test. Now I have a beautiful question for you, and I see a very limited, or let's say very less number of people who answer this question correctly within 1 minute of time. Of course, they will be able to solve this within 3 or 4 minutes of time, but very rarely people answer this question within a minute of time. And let me check how many of you are able to answer this question within 1 minute of time. And your time starts now. Rahul, yes, I will take your name. Okay, I think you have also answered as the option 3, right? Correct. Yes, I noted Rahul. Third and 4, yes, they are almost same, but you need to understand the minute difference also, and that's how non-verbal reasoning or visual reasoning problems will be. Right. Sachin Patil comes up with the answer first, and he says that it's option 3. Okay, let us check whether it is right or not. But rest of the people are also encouraged to answer this question. I told you, right, very less number of people will be able to answer this question in less than 1 minute. And that's how these kind of problems will be. See, especially when I will give you a hint and a shortcut technique for this kind of a problem, especially when problem figures and answer figures are given, and this will be a visual reasoning related problem. Okay, these problems will be visual reasoning related problem. And in such cases, always clockwise direction and anti-clockwise direction will be the logic. Most of the time, you should be checking for these two sections. Clockwise direction and anti-clockwise logic is available or not. And if you are able to do that, then most of the problems can be solved easily. Now, what I just look at in this particular problem figure is, initially, the small segment was there on the bottom right corner, okay, and in the very next case what happened, it has been shifted, okay. And now you can just observe here, in each iteration one element is getting added. Initially it was only 1, and in the second case it has become 2, right, 1 and 2, and in the third case again one more element added, and I'm just going to circle only the element which has been added, okay. In the fourth figure, one more element is added, and in the fifth figure, one more element is added in the anti-clockwise direction. See here, in the anti-clockwise direction. And now, every iteration, the added figure will look the same. That means it is a line with the line pointed vertically upwards with the dotted circle at the top. Every figure should have the same thing. So that means you can eliminate option 3 for sure, because the next element should be coming over here, right? And this should also have a line with the dotted head, something like this. So here in option 3 you have an element with the line, but the dotted head is on the bottom, but it should be on the top. So this is eliminated, and that's how beautiful is non-verbal reasoning question or visual reasoning question. So one option is eliminated straight away. Now what I want all of you to look at is, yeah, you observe that new element is added in every case, but what is happening to the existing element, that you need to note, right? Existing element is this one, right? And it has been turned, or it has been tilted by 90 degrees. See, initially it was like this, and in the successive figure it has become like this, right? So that means 90-degree shift has happened there. And what is happening in the very next figure? In the very next figure it was like this, and now it happened like this again, 90-degree clockwise. 90-degree clockwise. See the figure, 90-degree clockwise. And what happened to the previous figure? In the second figure it was pointing like this, but right now in the third figure it is pointing like this. It was like this initially, and now it is like this. So that means it is 90-degree anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. So the first element was 90-degree clockwise, okay, and the same thing will happen in the next figure also, 90-degree clockwise, but the second element is there, right? That will go 90-degree anti-clockwise, and additional element is added. Now what happens in the fourth figure? Just tell me. Yeah, this figure again gets rotated by 90-degree clockwise, and the second figure is 90-degree anti-clockwise. See, it was like this, and now it is something like this in the fourth figure. So 90-degree anti-clockwise again. But now what happened to this figure? So it was like this, right? And now it is 90 degrees. So that means you got a conclusion now. 90-degree clockwise, 90-degree anti-clockwise, then again 90-degree clockwise. That means alternate clockwise anti-clockwise pattern is observed, and that's what you need to check in this case. And now if I observe the same logic here, after figure E, what should happen? This figure should be rotated by 90-degree clockwise. So then option A can be correct, 2 can also be correct, 4 can also be correct, 5 can also be correct, but 3 is eliminated already, right? So I'm just doing that. So in E, it should go 90-degree anti-clockwise, right? So it should look like this in the next figure. 1 can be the answer, 2 can be the answer, 4 can be the answer, but 5 is eliminated because here it is pointing downwards, though that's gone. Right, so 2 options are eliminated. Now I'll go to the third section. It is like this. Now it has to go 90-degree clockwise. That means it has to point like this, 90-degree clockwise. So option 1 is eliminated. You can go for option 2 or option 3. Right? Now go for the next element. This should be 90-degree anti-clockwise, which means it should become downwards. So in both the figure it looks downwards. Now this element should go 90-degree clockwise, right? And what is 90-degree clockwise for this particular section? It is like this, and 90-degree clockwise will become this one. So your answer should definitely be option 4, because here it has become 90-degree anti-clockwise. So option 4 is the right answer. So if you have understood this problem, quickly tell me a clear in the chat section, and I will move on to the next question. This is also a very beautiful question. Option D is the right one. Or acknowledge that you have done all the 3 questions correctly. Very good. So option D was the answer for the previous question. Very good. Now the next question is already available on the screen, and your time starts now. I will read the question for you. A tin of oil was 4/5 full. When 6 bottles of oils were taken out from this tin and 4 bottles of oils were poured into it again, it was 3/4 full. Oil of how many bottles can the tin contain. That means overall how many bottles of oil should be poured into this container so that it is full. That is the question. And now observe the note which is given in the bracket. All the bottles are of equal volume. So I don't know how many of you have done this question correctly. Very good. Rahul says that it's 40. Very good. That was super quick from Rahul, and rest of the people, I just wait for some time so that you will also answer this question. I will tell you this problem. Okay, see, initially the tank was 4/5 full, right? 4/5 full, and now what you did, you just removed 6 bottles of oil from it. You removed 6, okay, and then again you added 4 bottles. Okay, you removed 6 bottles, but then again you poured 4 bottles of oil to the same container. That means effectively you removed only 2 bottles of oil from it. And what is the result, by the way? Initially it was 4/5 full before you take out that 2 bottles of oil from it effectively, but after you do this particular thing, it's only 3/4 full. Now on effectively getting 2 bottles out of this tank, okay, from this tin, it's only 3/4 full. Now how will you solve this problem? Very simple way, I'll tell you. Tell me, what is 4/5 in terms of percentage? Can anybody quickly tell me what is 4/5 in terms of percentage? I would just look at the chat section and let me check who answers this question first. What is the meaning of 4/5 in terms of percentage? How much percentage is 4/5? Anybody? So I hope you people are understanding. I'm just asking you percentage from a fraction. You directly multiply it with 100, right? So 5 ones are 5 20s are. So overall it is 80%. So that means the tin is 80% full. After that you removed 6 bottles of 6 bottles of oil from it, and then you again added 4 liters of oil into it. So that means overall you have removed 2 bottles of oil from it. Okay, you have removed 2 bottles of oil. So as a result, it is only 3/4 filled, and 3/4 everybody knows that it is 75%. So as a result, what happened? After you remove 2 bottles of oil, the percentage has been reduced to 75. That means 5% is equivalent to 2 bottles. Okay, 5% of the volume of this tin is equal to 2 bottles. Now it's enough if you just find out what is 100% of this volume. If 5% is 2 bottles, what is 100%? You can do it like this. How will you convert 5 into 100? You will directly multiply this by 20, right? To get 100 from 5, you will multiply 5 by 20. If you multiply the left side by 20, right side should also be multiplied by 20. So your answer should be 20 into 2, which is 40. Done. Answer option B. See, tell me how cool was this technique. It is enough if you just are good at percentage to fraction conversion and vice versa. Highly important, I would say, for any sort of mass recruiters company. Right, I hope this problem is clear for everyone, and I request all of you to type a clear in the chat section if you have understood this problem. Let me just take you through the next problem. Yes, this is my favorite, divisibility property. And every time when I go to different colleges, people will say that divisibility concept is the easiest one for them, but still they will end up making a lot of mistakes when I give them questions on divisibility property. And now this is one of such kind of a problem where most of the people do mistake, because it's not a direct divisibility problem, but it is an application problem on divisibility property. Right, thank you so much for confirming that the previous question was clear to you. Great. Now start solving the problem that I gave now. pairs of P and Q if the number 357P25Q is divisible by both 3 and 5. And now you need to understand what is the divisibility rule for 3 and 5. So I will directly write the divisibility rule for 5 first, because only two possibilities are there. Either the number has to be ending with 0, okay, or the number has to be ending with 5. Only two cases are possible. For Q, it has to be 0 or it has to be 5. But what are the different possibilities available for this P? That is what I need to find out. And now what I'll do is, divisibility by 3 says that, for example, if I give you 7, 2, 3, 6, 3, 2, 3, 1, 6. Is it divisible by 3? Yes means type Y, otherwise type no in the chat section. Let me check how many of you are able to tell me quickly. 7, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 1, 6. Is it divisible by 3? Okay, Nick, you said that it's option C for this problem. Anyway, we will check it out. Is it true or not? Okay, Deepali said yes for this particular problem. See, divisibility by rule for 3 says that sum of the digits should be divisible by 3, right? So now you don't have to add everything. Most of the people do like this. 7 plus 2 is 9, 9 plus 3 is 12, 18, 20, 23, 24 and 30. 30 is divisible by 3. See how much time you're wasting. Rather than that, what you can do is eliminate all the numbers which are divisible by 3. Something like this. 3 is divisible by 3. You don't have to add this number at all. Then 6 is divisible by 3. Cancel it out. This 3 is also divisible. This 6 is also divisible by 3. So I eliminated all these numbers so that I don't have to include them in my calculation at all. Now next part is group the numbers in such a way that sum of them will be divisible by 3. For example, 7 plus 2 will give me a 9, right? So definitely that's divisible. I don't have to consider this. Then what else is remaining? 2 and 1 are remaining. Of course 2 plus 1 will give you 3, and that is also divisible by 3. That means everything is cancelled out. This number is divisible by 3. Tell me, how cool is this technique? And how many of you knew this technique earlier? Probably you must be knowing, but if you did not know, please solve divisibility rule for 3 in this way hereafter. And I will apply the same logic here. See, 3 is divisible by 3. I don't have to consider this 3 at all. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12, right? So 12 is divisible by 3 again. So I don't have to consider this also. Now, in case of Q is equal to 0, what should be the possible value of P in order to be divisible by 3? So that means Q is anyway 0. Q is 0 in this case, and Q is 5 in this case. So if Q is 0, what should be the possible values of 7 plus P so that it's divisible by 3? So the first possible value for P is number 2. 7 plus 2 will give you a 9, right? It's divisible by 2. And 2 comma 0 is the first possibility because Q is 0. And now what is the next possible value for this P? I can go for 5, right? Because 7 plus 5 will give me a 12. That is also divisible by 3. So if P is 5, then Q is 0. This is also one more possibility. And the next possibility is P value is 8. So if I have P value as 8, then this value becomes 15, and 15 is again divisible by 3. So these are the three possibilities when Q value is 0. Okay. Now next I will go for Q value is 5. This case. The other case is given here. Q value is 5. And now I'll have to check individually for different possibilities. What will happen if Q value is 5? Then 3 is divisible, 5 and 2 is also divisible because they are divisible by 3, and Q value is 5, right? So 7 plus 5 is 12. That is also divisible. So what are the values that can be given to P? So definitely if Q value is 5, 3 is cancelled out, 5 plus 5, 10, 12 is cancelled out, then 7 plus q value is 5, right, 12, that is also cancelled out. Now p can be either be 0, okay, p can be 0 also. If p is 0, then q is 5 in this case, right? So p value can be taken as 0. Or next, you should take a number which is divisible by 3. Next possibility is 3 and 5 here. Or you can also take 6, p value can be 6 and this value is 5. Next possibility is p value is 9 and this value is 5. So total how many possibilities are there? Only 7 possibilities are there. Your answer is 7. That's how you solve problems on divisibility. So very simple technique it is. Divisibility by 3 should be known, divisibility by 5 should be known. Otherwise you should know the divisibility properties right from 2 to 12 at least, right? This is very important topic to be noted, right? I believe that this question is clear to every one of you. Now the next question, a very beautiful question again. Let me just give you 1 minute of time to solve this, and if you have understood the previous question, quickly tell me clear in the chat section. Option A was the right answer for the previous question. It's not option C, it is option A, which is 7. Right, so a lot of you have said that it is 12. See, 14,0 is not possible because see, in the previous question, I will directly go to the previous question. You said 14,0, right? How can you take a single digit value to be a 2-digit number? P value cannot be 14, right? Okay, it's a single digit number, so you are allowed to take only single digit. That's the reason why 14,0 is not possible. Okay, right. Right, so I will directly go to the next question, and here you can see a very simple way. I will just explain this problem now. A student was asked to multiply a number by 25. Let that number be 1 itself. Okay, and he was asked to multiply this number by 25. Then what answer he will get? He will get 25. Okay, but instead what he did, he multiplied the same number by 52. And what answer he will get now? He will get 52 as the answer. And now in reality it is 324 more than the correct answer. That means this should have been the correct answer, right? But he is getting 52. Now how much more it is? the difference between the real answer and the answer that he got is 27 now. But in reality, it is 324. This is just your assumption part, okay? This is just your assumption where I assume the number to be 1 and I multiplied it by 25 and multiplied it by 52. So in this case, I'm getting the difference between the answers as 27. But in reality, it is 324. Now tell me, how many times of your assumption is your reality? Quickly tell me this in the answer, let's say chat section. How many times of your assumption is your reality? 27 into what will give you 324? That's what my question is. You can do it like this. 27 ones are 27, 5 is the remainder, 54. 27 two times is 54, right? So that means your reality is 12 times of your assumption. So whatever you assumed initially is incorrect. So this should be multiplied 12 times in order to get the required objective. So that means answer should definitely be multiplied by 12. So now tell me, what is that number? Definitely it's 12. I hope you really like this approach, whatever I have taken to solve this particular problem. And you can quickly tell me a cool in the chat section if you really found this method impressive. So I would like to see how many of you admit that this technique was really cool. I would like to see. Right, so I will move on to the next question now. Also, you can type clear in the chat section if you really have understood this problem. Right. So now this is a reasoning problem. And let me check who is the first one to answer this question also. And your timer is activated already. Okay, Nick, you admitted that it's lol cool, right? So I will just take that as a compliment. Thank you so much for confirming. Right, so the next question is coming up for you, and without waiting for you to solve this problem, I will only explain the logic should be used to arrive at the answer easily in such kind of data arrangement related problem. See, this problem is based on data arrangement, and every time whenever it is an height wise arrangement or a weight wise arrangement, it is better always to go by a bar graph. That will give you the answer instantly, because you should be able to just observe and then tell the answer. Now just look at the way I'm solving this problem. There are 5 friends: Suman, Kiran, Manu, Avinash and Ram. Suman is shorter than Kiran. Now what I'll do, I will write Suman here, and I definitely know that this Suman is shorter than Kiran. So Kiran's height should be more, right? So I have written like this. Now this will be very much easier for you to understand. So Suman, this is Suman, and she's shorter than Kiran, right? This is Kiran, but taller than Ram. So that means Suman is shorter than Kiran, but she is taller than Ram. So now what I'll do, Ram's height should be definitely lesser than Suman's height, right? So Ram will be somewhere over here. Okay, let me just erase this one. Right, this is Ram. All right, so Ram's height is written over here. Now the next part is Manu is the tallest. One more person you got now, that is Manu. Right, so I will write it over here. He is the tallest, right? I will write the maximum height for Manu. Great, so this is Manu. And next is Avinash is little shorter than Kiran. Where is Kiran now? Over here, but little taller than Suman. That means Avinash's height should definitely be between Suman and Kiran's height, right? So I will write it over here. Avinash's height will be definitely somewhere between the height of Suman and Kiran. So I will erase this and I will write it over here. Now you will definitely be able to identify the person without any difficulty. So that's how beautiful is data arrangement problem if you're going by the bar graph method. So this is for Avinash. Now tell me, the question that has been asked is, who has two persons taller and two persons shorter than him. There are five people. Out of that, two people should be taller and people should be shorter. Then the person should be the middle person, right? And whose height is in the middle? You can just observe here. Okay, see, he is the tallest. And who is the second tallest? Second tallest is this guy. Okay, Kiran is the second tallest, right? Then what is the who are the two shortest people? He is the shortest and second shortest is here. Then tell me, who is in the middle? Definitely it is Kiran. Done. Answer. Sorry, definitely it is Avinash. That's the answer. So quickly acknowledge it in the chat section. How cool was this technique? Avinash is the right answer. Very good. I hope many of you have done this particular problem correctly in the mock test also, and I believe you have understood this problem. Now I will move on to the next question. So I have a question from verbal aptitude also. Here you have the question, and now tell me what would be the answer for this particular problem. This question is from verbal aptitude. In the following question, 4 alternatives are given for the idiom/phrase. In bold in the sentence, choose the alternative which best expresses the meaning of the idiom/phrase. But this is idiom right now. This is an idiom and it's called Achilles heel. Meaning, or let's say the pronunciation of this idiom is Achilles heel. And what is the significance of using this idiom in the day-to-day life? That's what you need to understand. Sri Ram says that it's option A. Very good. We'll check it out whether it is right or not. I don't know how good you are at using idioms and phrases in your day-to-day life, but this purely depends upon your vocabulary or your word collection. The more you're good at your vocabulary, the easier it's for you to understand and get the answer. Very good. Sri Ram, then Ravi Teja, Deepali, Rohit and Mukesh have answered this question. Very good. So let me just tell you what's the answer for this particular problem. But before that, it is not about learning a new idiom, okay? But it is remembering the idioms that you already know. Don't forget. Once you learn, make sure that you remember it for a longer run. So it is always better to remember any idioms with a story. And what is the significance of this Achilles heel is, it's a person. Achilles is a person, and his mom actually held him in his heel and dipped in certain river just to make him invulnerable to death. That means he becomes immortal if he just get dipped in that particular river. Now what happened? His mother actually held him in heel and then she dipped it in the water. And now what happened? His entire body became invulnerable. That means he became super immortal, but since she just held in his heel, that portion did not get dipped in the water. And that's the reason why that portion alone became vulnerable, or that means that became a very weak point in the entire body. So that is the meaning of Achilles heel. That means if the person is extremely good at everything except one point, or the person's weakest point is said to be Achilles heel. That is the meaning. And you can just read this sentence and you can understand communicative English is the Achilles heel for the job aspirants. Job aspirants will be preparing themselves for all sort of recruitment process, starting from aptitude and then technical stuff, everything. They will be extremely good. But when it comes to express in front of people, that becomes a Herculean task or a very difficult task, right? And that is the weakness of many of us. And that's why it is represented as Achilles heel. So meaning of Achilles heel means it is a weak point. And the story is, I already told you what exactly the reason behind this idiom. I hope it's useful. And one last problem I have for today's session is this one. And this is also from verbal aptitude itself. And I cannot help you to improve your vocabulary, okay, unless you are doing your stuffs, that means preparation stuffs. I cannot help you, but I can always tell you the shortcut to remember particular words. It is always easy to remember words by connecting it to a real world incident or connecting it to an example which you can remember for longer run. Now the word is beckoned. Tell me, what is the meaning of beckoned? I need answer from all of you. Let me check who is the first one to answer this question. Is it accused, to call, to or let's say sent, or acquitted? What is the answer for this problem? It's very simple. Beckoned means it is the actions or the gestures that you do with your hand to ask somebody to follow your instruction. Okay, it is the action that you do with your hands or body movement just to inform somebody to follow your instruction. That means if you are sitting over there and if I do this, then it means that I'm asking you to follow my instruction. That means you have to come to me if I do this, and this is called beckoning. This is called beckoning, and the word beckon means doing actions with hand movements and the body language to indicate someone to follow the instruction. So here, accused is nowhere related to beckon, right? Because it's not the action that I'm asking somebody to do, right? So this is done. This is not the right answer. So it is not actually to send also, right? This is also not correct. Acquitted means it is just passing a verdict that someone is not guilty. Meaning of acquitted is passing a verdict that someone is not guilty. That means acquitted. So that means this is also eliminated, and it is to call. I just gave you an example, right? If I do this one, that means I am beckoning. And this is one of such examples that I can closely relate to beckoned, the word beckoned, because it involves certain hand movement, right? To call somebody. So the synonym for this particular word is to call. So I hope this problem is also clear for every one of you. And now that's all from my side in today's session. And if you have not joined our Telegram channel yet, so this is the right time for you to join, because we will be posting a lot of quizzes related to the upcoming TCS NQT, and mock tests will also be available on our official Telegram channel. So this is the right time for you to join the session, to join the Telegram channel and to get the benefit of everything whatever we post over there. And the link to join Telegram channel will be available in the chat section as well as in the description. Click the link and join the channel. And one more thing, regarding tomorrow's technical session, I mentioned earlier that you will be having a technical session tomorrow at 5 p.m. right? And this session is gonna happen on GoToWebinar platform, and the registration link will be available in the chat section. I request everybody to register to this particular meeting and then attend tomorrow's session without any fail. Right, I hope it's available in the chat section right now. So please register yourself for tomorrow's technical webinar. Right, and if you have not joined our social media platform, so this is the right time again. We have our official Facebook page, Facebook/Ethnus, and the Instagram page, Instagram/Codemithra, and this is our official YouTube channel. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, this is the right time again. Please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon, so that every time when we post a new video related to upcoming placement drive or related to the upcoming technologies, you will be notified. So that's all from my side in today's session. I hope the session was useful to you, and I wish you all the very best for your upcoming TCS NQT drives. Try to get placed in this opportunity and make your career wow and delightful one. And if you have any queries, you can always reach us using this email ID. So you can draft an email to us. You can have n number of queries on this email. Our technical experts and aptitude experts will be available to help you in clarifying your queries. And you can directly contact us on this number. Okay, you can just make a note of this number also, or you can just send us your snaps of questions in which you have the confusion directly to this WhatsApp number, and our support team will be getting in touch with you to clarify all your queries. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much once again, and have a wonderful evening ahead. Bye bye. Thank you, Sriram. Thank you, Deepali, for joining, and all the very best for your upcoming drive.